we begin with some fallout from conference realignment. It's not shakeups from conference realignment, but it is something that's significant in terms of the way that conference realignment has played an impact on the rivalries and the history of college football. Because comments recently from athletic directors at both Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, they say that Bedlam is done when the Sooners make the move to the SEC. Now, this would not be unprecedented, especially with the Big 12 related realignment, as we saw Texas and Texas A&M end their rivalry, which of course will be renewed once Texas makes it to the SEC. So I ask, how about this? Do you really believe that Bedlam is done, or do you think that we will see another Oklahoma State game, let's just say in the next 10 to 15 years, because of either further realignment or ADs deciding to get out of their own way and put that game on the schedule?
Oh, I think we'll see Bedlam again sometime down the road. But what are we at, 103 years? We've seen this rivalry. Like, it's one of the longest rivalries in the sport, and it sucks. That's the bottom line. That we look at this shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, there's been a lot of posturing. Mike Gundy's been warning this was going to happen for several months. Like, yeah, why would we play them anymore? They decided to take the money and go to the big, get the big payday. Well, we're not going to go ahead and schedule them if it's most likely a loss in Oklahoma State's vantage point, because they've been pretty much dominant in this rivalry. But I still think that shouldn't matter. This, to me, Chip, goes to why we need, and I know I say it all the time, we need either a commissioner or a group of people who will provide oversight, not only for NIL and transfer portal and all those types of issues, but for scheduling. Like, where you come out and you say, these are the teams you're going to play. This is what's best for college football. And yes, you're in the SEC, Oklahoma, you're going to play your normal SEC slate, but we're going to handle your out-of-conference slate. And we're going to make sure that we prioritize this rivalry because it means so much to the game. And, like, the SEC just came out with their schedule last night, by the way, which I think was a huge miss. Like, that could have been a great topic for us to discuss, like, in March, right? So I don't know why they did that. But, the conference comes out and they tell teams who their cross-divisional rivalry games are going to be. And some of them we preserve, some we don't. But somebody's got to step up and do what's best for the sport, or else the sport is going to continue to diminish some of the things that makes it so special.
Do you think that we would see in a future where, we have some kind of breakaway, that we would have that almost, I'm thinking of NFL-like scheduling, where there is some kind of rotation, where you have non-conference games that are going to be played. Like, when people tried to make the alliance sound attractive, it was with the idea that ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 teams would be rotating in so that you've got a full schedule already built out. Do you think it could be something like that?
Yes, I think that could be something that it would look like, where there's a continuity. That's the other thing too, like in our, system, where we have to compare and decide who are the best 4 teams or 12 teams down the road. How do you do that when there's just no continuity across scheduling across different conferences? So yeah, I could see that absolutely be the scenario that it takes place.
I think that we'll get Oklahoma and Oklahoma State in an Alamo Bowl. No, not an Alamo Bowl. That'd be Pac-12, Big 12. We'll get it in a Sugar Bowl in the future, and New Orleans will be on fire as we get Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Give it to me in a bowl game. Come on, College Football Playoff Selection Committee, or whoever needs to rig that thing to be able to show down. I mean, would you?
You know why it'll come back? You know why it'll come back? Because both athletic directors are going to look at the alternatives, whether it's Ball State or Central Michigan, whatever team they plug in there in this absence. They're like, oh, man, we didn't see quite the influx of ticket sales or revenue to our local economy. Maybe it's a better thing that we get this game back that's a little bit more attractive, no matter what the records are, right? People are going to show up to go to a rivalry game. It's disappointing. And to your point, like we saw, we've seen games come back. We had Oklahoma, Nebraska this past weekend. We had the backyard brawl. So yeah, it'll come back, but that's what it's probably going to take is, the fans speaking out and speaking with their wallet saying, I'm not going to buy tickets to some crap game. I want to see a rivalry game. And that's probably what it'll take to get the game back.